Hey everyone, we're TowawayCouple. I'm Tom, the driver.
And I'm Bunny, and I am the backseat photographer.
The front seat photographer. She wants to be the backseat photographer, but I make her drive a motorhome.
You do.
No,
you make me. You make me make money.
She's a super trucker.
Not.
So this video is going to be about explaining what Blitz Week is, because I recently just got pulled over. And it happened to be at the tail end. Okay, Blitz Week is typically 3 days.
Right.
But they call it Blitz Week because it's 3 days. And I got pulled over after technically the media announcement that it's Monday through Wednesday, and I got pulled over on Sunday. So we posted on our social media that it was Blitz Week.
Yeah, that we got pulled over.
That Blitz Week was still on.
Blitz Week is still on, yeah.
So I got a couple of comments, and if you're watching this video and you're one of them, it's not to put you on blast. It's just if you have those comments, I'm thinking other people have the same thought process. Mm-hmm. So the one comment was not to be an a-hole, but because you got pulled over, we all call it Blitz Week. So I replied back something to the fact of, well, when you start your question with not to be an a-hole, typically that's what it is. I said, are you serious? And he wrote, yeah, he didn't understand. So we actually went to chat and chatted about it for a while, and he got to fully understand because he's not a transporter like we are. He transports from one location to his home area, and that's all he does. So he doesn't really encounter all the freeway systems we do.
Right. And we typically, unless we're going to some remote location, we all travel the same freeway systems and the same interstates. So therefore, yes, once the police officers get going, they like one after another.
Right. The other comment was something to the effect, it was a reply to the original comment of the other guy, and it said, yeah, he probably got pulled over, or they probably got pulled over for speeding or another violation. Okay, so now and that was wrong. It was a simple inspection. I do 65 miles an hour. I'm totally legal. Everything is perfect on our truck and everything. Do I want to get pulled over? No. Because what if something I missed or something is wrong with that trailer? Even though the trailer is brand new from the manufacturer, what if it has a broken something that I didn't know about? That could out of service me. Mm-hmm. So I just prefer not to get pulled over because we're only doing Presidio inspections on these trailers.
Right, we're not going underneath and checking for broken.
Right.
Making sure the lights work, the brakes work, and we're ready to roll.
Exactly. So, Blitz Week is put on multiple times a year. I'm not sure how many times a year. I know it's at least twice a year.
Right, because each time they're looking for something completely different.
Correct. Like this time was broken wheels, cracked wheels, missing lug nuts, loose lug nuts.
Mm-hmm. Tire depth,
and just stuff like that. They weren't so focused on the brakes this time. Well, they kind of are, but they aren't. And they're not so much focused on leaks and other things that they'll be focused on the next Blitz Week. So what we personally encounter and see is Blitz Week is almost like 3 weeks long.
Yeah, it was this time, yes.
So, and yeah, technically it's the middle week, but it seems like they prepare and start getting geared up for it the week before.
Right, because this week it happened to be, let's see here, what was it, May 17th, 18th, and 19th?
Right.
And we were coming back a few days before that, and we already seen them.
Yeah, when we went there to California to drop a trailer in a motorhome, we saw just a ton of trucks, hot shots, and RV transporters pulled over along our way. Mm-hmm. And that was the week before Blitz Week. During Blitz Week, we were on our way back, and yes, I was making sure my logging was coming back, everything, because even with the mud flaps, that 26,000 pound plate, I don't know if legally they can pull you over or not, but yeah, I fold my mirrors in to try to blend. People ask, why do you fold your mirrors in? Aerodynamics. But I don't want to look like, you always make fun of the people with the mirrors out with no trailer. I don't want to be that guy. So as we came back from California, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Illinois, we saw one cop. The entire 40, 55, everything, one in Texas.
Yeah.
Other than that, we saw nothing those 3 days, and that was Blitz week. Now, we did hear of a friend got pulled over at the Mississippi border for Blitz week, so each state might focus on different days more.
Yes. Now, I kind of think that it goes more the week before and the week after, or the end of that week after, is because so many people do not run during those 3 days. They're like, I don't want to run during Blitz week. I don't want to risk getting pulled over, so they don't run. So guess what? We're going to catch you on the backside.
Right. We noticed another thing, that we did not see any DOT or nothing except for that one, and he was just sitting on the side of the freeway by himself. He might have pulled over a few for because he was definitely DOT.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we didn't really see any RV transporters, and I think because of the national media blitz about Blitz Week, a lot of, even the TikTok and the videos, truckers saying, hey, this is a great time to take a vacation. Take Friday through Thursday off and then get back on the road, because they get a lot of violations.
Yeah.
And it's nothing on them, it's just...
Well, we actually did see one in the rest area, I believe in Kingman. It was in Texas, and he was being inspected in the rest area.
Oh my God, I pull in and I see a DOT sitting under a tree, and I see a DOT behind a diesel, and I'm like, oh my God, they're getting the rest areas.
Yep.
Now, and this is after Blitz Week.
This was after Blitz Week.
After my inspection.
Yeah, this was on Monday, the following Monday. And he said, he goes, actually, it's a good thing. He goes...
They found a flat tire.
They found a flat tire that he didn't know he had, because it was in his inner on the trailer. And he goes, yeah, I'm out of service until I get it fixed. He goes, but without it, what would have done?
What could have happened?
Yeah.
He would have been on the side of the freeway trying to get it fixed. At least he's in a cushy rest area with a bathroom.
Yep.
And a vending machine.
And taking a 10-hour break.
And taking probably a 10-hour break. So, yeah, no, that was actually very beneficial for him. We're going to do a video after this of things that you should have
so basically
in your possession.
Right. But kind of think of it this way during Blitz Week. It would be like going in for your physical.
Right.
At the doctor. So it's like a preventative thing. So just as long as everything is in order and you've got everything good and your logs are up to date and you're keeping your truck in good running order, it's kind of just like a little physical. They're going to check it and make sure you're good and you're good to go.
Yep. And
so don't be afraid of it.
We did have a conversation with the officer after we let them do their inspection. And then we talked to them, because we don't want to talk to them if we're going to fail. We just want them to go away. But once I passed the third time, I asked the officer, hey, you got a couple minutes? We do a YouTube video channel, and I'm kind of curious. What exactly do you look for when you're doing these? And Bunny comes up, she goes, is this still Blitz Week? He goes, yep. Mm-hmm. So it was 3 days after. So yeah, with that said, Blitz Week is all week. It's just when they talk about the first 3 days, they're talking about every department, police, sheriff, DOT, they all come together and do Blitz Week. But then after that, the DOTs probably feel a little obligated to keep it going.
Yep, and he did.
And then they start relaxing.
And he did. He straight out said, nope, it's still Blitz Week.
Yep. And I said, do you go all for next week? He goes, yep. He goes, we don't just focus on the 3 days. And I'm like, okay, so, but we saw, like I said, or Bunny said, all the vehicles pulled over the week before. We know transporters aren't going to take 3 weeks off.
No.
You'll never be transporting.
No.
But I did ask him, I said, what exactly do you look for? And he said, typically logbooks. He can find, he goes, it's the people who, that's our bell. He goes, real quick, he goes, it's the people who don't log and then they put it all in at the end of the day. He said those are serious red flags for him. He prefers to see people logging as they're going because, like he said, trying to remember where you took a break, when you took a break, all that. He goes, it's just red flags. He mentioned DOT numbers because we had ours on the side. And I said, really? I said, how many people run without DOT numbers? He goes, you'd be surprised. There are a lot. And I said, well, what's the ramifications of running without a DOT number? He says, it's a federal fine and a state fine. And he goes, and depending if you have your own authority, they'll probably put you out of service.
Right, and he did say that it is a fine for both you and your company.
Yep, and it's, like he said, federal and state. So we see a lot of RVs going down the road without DOT numbers. We'll assume they're privately owned, but if you are running without DOT numbers and you haven't gotten caught, again, it's only a matter of time. And just don't be one of those guys.
I can only assume that the company that you're running for.
They will be running from.
Yes. The company that you're running for, if you're going to get pulled over and you're going to get a fine for not running your DOT numbers, I am assuming you will no longer be running for that particular company.
Absolutely. And we do know a couple companies fine you. So let's just say you got the DOT fine. You got a federal, you got a state. Your company gets a fine. You could possibly be put out of service if you can't show them physical DOT numbers to put on your truck right then and there. But some of the companies actually might fine you, and it could be hundreds of dollars for violating that because they provided you with DOT numbers.
Yes.
So I think what they're doing is recouping their cost.
Exactly.
So with that said, stick around. We'll post another video pretty quickly on what do they ask for, because I get a lot of questions. People say, you got to do a video on your inspections, and I really haven't because each one has been totally different. So we're going to give you the next video of what you should have in your possession for a potential DOT inspection.
Yes.
All right, so with that,
we'll see you down the road.
We'll see you down the road.